この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo. Happy Tuesday, and we are here for Mushishi Zoku Show. We finished all of the core single episodes of the season, and so we are left off with the last episode, a two-parter, or more aptly, a double-lengther, a super special or something. I'm pretty excited for this because the last time we got one of these was Hihamu Kage, and it was pretty stellar. I think that Mushishi is a show or a storytelling device thing, avenue, medium, creature, whatever you want to call it, that can really benefit from the extra episode length. It gives us time to get a little bit more in depth on some of the characters and a little bit more in depth on some of the mysteries, and to build out more complex and compelling stories, which I think is one of the things that really shines about Mushishi. Obviously, we like the individual episodes, and the fact that we are able to compress these stories and tell them in just 23 minutes is fantastic. But opening up a little bit and having a little bit more time to let things sink in and really let the atmosphere of the show evolve and sort of bloom is just stellar. It's just cool. So we are here for the Zoku Show special, Odoro no Michi, which is Path of Thorns. And if that doesn't sound a little spooky, I don't know what does. I feel like Zokusho in general, while it's had a few exceptions, and there are only 10 episodes to get a sample size from, has been a little bit of a darker season in a couple of ways. There have been a couple episodes about dark people, a couple episodes about dark Mushi, not, intentionally, but by their nature, they cause things that maybe are unsettling or a little bit creepy. We had Mr. Hand Eye Dude Bro, and the whistling guy, and some kind of spooky moments. So I'm wondering if this episode, given its title, is going to fit into that sort of convention and sort of be a little bit dark. And I'm kind of excited for that. Otherwise, like any episode of Mushishi, it's an episodic show. I have no idea what's going to happen next. It all depends on where Ginkgo goes, what he runs into, and what the author wants to focus on for this piece of the story. So that's pretty darn exciting. I will also say, for anyone who's wondering, it has been a couple of days since I've been in the hot seat with the camera on. The weekend I had off in general, but I took Monday off as well because my roommate is really sick. He has been puking and shitting and having a bad time. And I felt yesterday like there was a bug like trying to get me. I had that weird sort of hazy feeling that just tells me that my immune system is in overdrive trying to kill something off and get it out of my system. So I took yesterday to rest. I also didn't go to the gym, which really sucks, but I think it's worth it because I woke up this morning feeling pretty all right, and that is fantastic. So, a little sacrifice of one day in order to secure the whole week of healthiness and being able to get here and do the work and watch the videos and think about things in a way that's effective, I think is worth it. So thanks for your patience, and we will be watching the Dirty Pair movie Project Eden, which I have a really good copy of, and I'm really excited to watch next week. For now, however, we're going to watch some Mushishi, and I don't know what to expect from it. I also don't know why I'm Sean Connery right now. Yes, let's watch Odoro no Michi, and we will see what we have to see, and we'll find out what we have to find out. And I would say, like, oh, I hope it's gonna be X, Y, and Z, but I don't really have any hopes for this. I just have expectations. Mushishi never really lets me down. There have only been a couple episodes over the last 30 where I've even been like, this was all right. This was like pretty good, but not super amazing. Most episodes I come out pretty impressed and just like enthralled by the episode and really interested in the story that it's telling. So with the double episode length and the way that things have been going with the show, I got nothing but high expectations for it. So let's watch Odoro no Michi, and hopefully it lives up to those expectations. Okay, as usual, there will be two versions of this reaction. Picture-in-picture version with the video up there, linked in the description down there. Timer-based version will be up on YouTube, and if you want to do a syncy thing and sync up your own copy of the episode, you can totally do that. Just get your copy ready because the beep beep timer to count you down to 0 when it will all begin is coming at you right now. Let's go. Cool. We still start with Shiver. Love it. I'm going to drink my matcha with a fork to stir it. There's actually a reason that it's a fork. I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna talk. Hmm. The one on the bottom right kind of looks like a little devil. I can't remember well enough to know if any of these are super new. Well, there's our darkness and atmosphere starting. Silence. Hello, Grandpa. And a little kiddo. That's echoey. Oh. Some kind of ritual to make people able to see Mushi when they couldn't before? And it's family related. Whoa, this is a Mushishi family that can't actually see Mushi. So they do something to their kids, like some kind of weird ritual to force them to be able to see them. That would have to be something that like gets Mushi in them, right? Like this is a Mushi infested family of Mushishi. I hope I didn't just solve the mystery. because that's too easy. It's too easy. Right? Like we've seen characters, but I can't remember which, before where like they could see Mushi when they had Mushi in them, but then when the Mushi was gone, they couldn't see them anymore. Right? Bada bing, bada boom. All right, I solved it. Let's end the episode. We'll go home. No, I'm sure there's a lot more to it than that. Ugh. That's a cool house. I want to live in one of those. Where is this? This is like a supply depot. Yeah, can I get some weird purple roots and some weird starfish things? Ow. Ah, chicken feet. Yum. Hmm. Okay. Erratic Mushi on the mountain sounds like a quest hook. Oh, what main family is that? Ah, the Minai. Minai makes me think see nothing. Actually, that would make a lot of sense, right? Nai is no. Mi is like Mitsketa, find. Hmm? Mite, mite. Look. Yeah, minai means see nothing. Oh, spoopy. I don't like barren land. Barren but overgrown. Or is this a different area? Whoa, that's weird. I love it. I love that idea. Growth from dead wood? That's spooky. Big rusty axe. Oh, that reminds me I have to buy an axe. For murdering. No, for fires that we do on Friday nights. We've got a bunch of big ass logs. We can't burn them. Hello. That guy is the kid, right? Yeah, it's weird. It's definitely weird. Oh, and that's grass growing out of dead thatch. That's super weird. Reminds me of fungus. Ooh. Ooh. I am the chosen one. Sorry. Oh, I like Tama. Hmm. But they hate Mushi, right? Yeah, okay. Because they define being a Mushishi as hating Mushi and getting rid of them. Oh, the fuck you say? There's something weird about his eyes. Oh? Yeah, no monocultures, man. By Tama? To assist the head of the Minai clan. Tanyu. Got it. Hey. Yo, dude, you kind of a dick. You're kind of a fucking asshole. Asshole. Oh, yeah. And you stayed in this shed for a while, just in emptiness. Oh, okay. No, it's just all right. Tanyu. Huh? Okay, so the Minai serve the Karibusa. Oh, but the was it the one that's inside Tanyu now? Sounds like it. Hmm. Okay. Okay. So he sealed it, but then you serve them. I love his character design. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Yeah, it's Tanyu's pain. But doesn't it slowly gets weaker and weaker, right? Okay, so there's this, like, fear of the potential. Which is reasonable, but it seems a little much. But I wanna be a painter. Right. Are all of them? At least initially? Maybe not. Maybe it's normal. Huh. Well, that's not ominous at all. The Love Shack is a little old place where we can get together. Oh, so it's like a Path of the Light Vein, kind of. Seems pretty dark for a Path of the Light Vein. Is there an opposite thing that's like the Dark Vein? The Spooky Land? But I mean, you're already trying to make him not the same ever again, right? Making him able to see Mushi when he wasn't able to before. There's like this twisting of the natural order of things in order to achieve a goal, right? Like they're justified because the thing that they're fighting is bad, but they're doing bad things themselves. That's a sick looking Mushi. So that one's all right. Oh shit! What the fuck? Fuck that. He just doesn't care. What a dick! I assume that is Kumado, the kid. And I like that we're interweaving that backstory with the present. I assume that it will build to some moment where Mushi, like, blah, 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 and take over his whole form and shit. That's pretty rad. What are those black specks of goopiness? Hmm. 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 Scared? Just like where he stayed, yeah. Hmm. That's weird. Yeah, I love standing in hell. Hell is so fun. Yeah, that sucks, dude. Love that transition. Love this gradient to sharp lines as well. Lose a sense of time, lose a sense of place, lose a sense of self, right? Oh no. Oh no. Damn, I wonder who's directing. Because they got some spooky dooky chops. Oh. Oh. Cool, yeah. Let's traumatize the child. Therefore, you must be traumatized further. But it's the start. Or is it the other way around? You will be bound. Oh, yeah, let's just get rid of that. No need for souls here. Where we're going, we don't need souls to feel. That's the question, isn't it? Do you have your soul, Grandpa? Oh. Oh. Okay. Like a creepy Mushi? So far, this episode is a nice slow burn spook fest. I'm really digging it. Poor kid. Didn't ask for any of this. Again. Oh, is that darkness thicker? All a distant memory now. Yeah, being swallowed up. Nice. Hey, spooky grandpa, when can I leave this house and go back to the sun? Never, my child. You must die. Looks like it's working. Ah, there it is. Not a chance, old man. Ooh, something with Koki. Ooh, is it changing color? Whoa. Whoa, what is that? That's new. Koki mist? The animation on that is fan-fucking-tastic. Holy shit. That's great. That's some of the coolest fog smoke stuff in animation that I have seen. Is he full dead? But now he's invested with Koki. Or something like it. You can see the light vein. There it is. The core of life. It's a lava lamp. Hey, you're the creepy old man who stuck me in this building. Whoa. Whoa. I would freak out here. Just a little bit. But aren't they super cool, though? They're so rad. Alright, can I go back to being normal? That's cool. We go from the darkness enveloping that entire building and the whole area to actually seeing it. It gives us the same effect that it gives him. That's fantastic. What'd you find? Oh, okay, the entrance. Well, I think we should go in, man. I think Ginkgo should check this place out. I feel you, man. I feel you. Why blurry? Oh, because fade to transition. Cool, cool, cool. For you, Tanyu, fucking anything. I appreciate ya. Yeah, like a soul? Something that you understand. Yeah. Something you understand deeply. So we send the white-haired one to figure it out. I could try. Oh, that's so cool. It's like a seahorse. The scene transitions over the course of this episode have been stellar. I can't wait to go into this dark, spooky place and see what it brings to bear next. It's just been fantastic so far. Hey, it's Tanya's place. Yes, Tama. Mm-hmm. Hello. Dead in the eyes. Have a play date. I do not ship it. I actively anti-ship it. Woo! Yeah, I feel like you don't care about anything. Soulless. I think his soul is actively gone. You might hope so. I will do my best, but he is kind of a dick. Eh. I don't really care. Yeah, you can just see a lot. Whatever, man. Bruh. No, I don't really. Oh, fucking hell. That's some bullshit, dog. That's just you. Set and setting makes a lot of difference. Oh, she went and found out for herself. But he wouldn't ever even have the drive to do that, right? Yep, it's just more hills. I guess he's right. The whole world sucks and it's boring. Cool, cool. Shit. No, I think you just chose a shitty hill. If there are other hills, you could see like the ocean or like cliffs or Utah or rock formations or valleys or rivers or waterfalls. The world is fantastic. That's just a shitty hill. Sorry, hill. Oh, sunrise though. That'll do. That'll do nicely. I stand here and I feel nothing. uh, no, not really. It's just the sun. It's an orb of burning helium and hydrogen. What did he just say? Oh, okay. Nothing. He's just humoring her. Interesting. Oh? Wait, he went darker? Ore wa ore desu yo. But what changed? Did something additional change beyond the just his childhood ritual? Whoa, that's spooky. Pathway of crazy grass. Man, I gotta steal some of this shit for D&D. Hello, Snack. Oh, slithery little snake. Hmm. Mm. Is Kumado dead? Yeah, whatever, man. Wait, does he want to cause a cataclysm to get the... No, okay. Hey, don't touch me. Mm-hmm. All for nothing. Yeah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'll end the world. He might already be dead. Go seal him in. You have to. But Ginkgo will try to save him. Because Tanyu asked him to. And because he's Ginkgo. Back to the past. No, the present. Crazy architecture. It's almost like they're shrunk down inside like the cells of a tree or something. It's crazy cool. Oh. It's like you. Soulless. Uh-oh. It's like skin cells off of the... Uh-oh. It's got him. All right, fuck this. Let's go. Let's go, Ginkgo. Ginkgo's gonna try and save him. No. No. Spooky boy. Don't give in to the darkness. Spooky boy, run away. You are our chosen. Whoa. I was born in the darkness. Oh. Oh. Ginkgo has a soul. No, 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 no. No, run. Fuck. Shit. You shouldn't have come here. Ginkgo's probably prime rib to these things. Are you young Ginkgo right now? This is got this isn't real, but that's like right after the Nui stuff, right? Because I'm not an asshole. What? That's the thing that replaced his soul, though. Yeah. This is where... Oh, there's color. This is the Karibusa lands, right? Yeah. He's inside of him now. In his memory? Did he even know Tanya when it was this long ago? And it's Ginkgo standing by her. Nope, we don't get to see. Hi. Ah! Oh, shit! Kaiju battle! Oh. Hey, buddy. Hey. Yeah, that is his soul. And it's hungry. Let's go. Nom nom. Yeah. Wait. You gotta come back. Gotta go back in this guy. You gotta go. You gotta go back in. I guess he's just dead. Okay, what? Hard what? Hi, Tama. I mean, yeah. What the fuck was that? You know what it is, right? It's a what? Oh. Whoa, it's way more complicated than I thought at the beginning. I didn't blow it wide open. Sick. A path we won't be able to progress down. So it's necessary for us to have options. She's gonna rebuild his soul. Or a replacement of it. Whoa, haunting, chilling. Yeah, but yeah, I would want a glowing kaiju monster inside me. That's pretty rad. Although it does make him a dreary, sad boy, so maybe not. Still so sick. And Tama's fully in on it. Hey, buddy. Hi, friend. You were dead. Now you're kind of back, sort of? Hi. Welcome back. That's a name I've never heard. I don't know which one the Sonic Koi Mushi is. Hello, Tanyu. Looking great today. Love your hair. Hmm. But it's not the same. Ooh, matcha. That's the reason that I use the fork, because I don't have a bamboo whisk. And you gotta mix that shit up. Hmm. Hmm. And that's what the family uses. That's what the Minai family uses, right? Mm-hmm. Gotta give it to him. The man's dedicated. I need to get one of those. If I'm gonna keep making the matcha, I gotta get one. Yep. That's the burden that you bear. Yeah, sup? I think he'd rather be alone. And their fingers touch. Nope, I don't ship it. Indeed. Oh, great. Thanks, man. Cool, cool. Oh, see that I ship. They got. uh, uh. Yeah, but I mean, if Gango, if you don't like matcha, I don't know if we can be friends anymore. It's too good. End? Is that end? That's fiend, dude. What? Whoa. I didn't expect a kaiju battle in my Mushishi episode, but I'm down for it. Holy crap, what a fight! Top 10 anime fight scenes, let's go. This was a cool one. It really used its time, I think. A little bit confused because we don't have that much background on those Sonic Mushi, but I assume that's what makes up the giant creepy hand thing that was evil and devours souls. Well, we do know that it's the soul devourer. So it's what's in Kumado, like what took his soul, or not what's in him, but what's in the path of overgrowth that took his soul, in order to replace it with an artificial Mushi that is made of Koki. It's crazy. It's a cool idea. Some great scenes, some great, like, slow moments in this episode. Yeah. Ugh. Cool. Cushion of grass for the first episode of season 2 of season 2. Zokusho season. Yeah, okay, great. Cool. I like this episode. It's nice. It's spooky. It's atmospheric. The empty mind, empty eyes of Kumado are kind of haunting. I think my favorite part of the whole episode is the scariest, creepiest part of the episode, which is the flashback sequences of the grandfather and of. I'm sorry, this is flashing with the fan going. The backstory stuff around Kumado, forcing him into this creepy hut in the middle of a literal nothengscape that he can't see, I think is a fantastic choice. And it all kind of comes to bear in the moment when he actually is able to see the Mushi, when his soul gets replaced and he can see all of it. The crazy thing is that he sacrifices the ability to care in order to see. And that's rough. That's some spooky stuff. That also, I don't feel like this episode has a clear cut parallel to a real world phenomenon, where there have been some episodes where I look at it and I'm like, okay, this is a metaphor for X. This is a metaphor for depression. This is a metaphor for whatever. But there's something right and something that clicks about this idea of a family or a culture taking the ability to feel away from a child in order to make them more effective at their job. Something about that feels right, and I mean wrong, but feels correct to me. I'm not sure exactly where it falls into place because it's more symbolic and more metaphorical than anything specific. It's not like traumatize your children and then they'll make great child soldiers or something. But it kind of fits into that same sort of vein. And it goes along with this idea that's present in the episode that the Minai family feels and fears the return of the forbidden Mushi so much that they sacrifice their current ability to feel, their current happiness, their current just ability to be normal in order to prevent some ethereal threat. And that sort of loops around back the other way to Kumado's statement that, like, oh, I almost wish that the forbidden Mushi would show up. I've dedicated my whole life and my whole existence to preventing a thing, or to like being ready to fight an enemy that never appears. And so I'm antsy for that enemy, right? I want it almost, which is cool and spooky. I think this episode does a really good job of building up a character that we've never met before in Kumado. And that's hard to do when you have a character that's his literal only character trait is that he's empty, right? But it builds slowly. That emptiness starts as just like, this guy's kind of a dick, to this guy's got something going on. What's going on with his eyes? There's something dead there. And then interwoven with that backstory that we experience piecemeal by piecemeal, shows us this path and this journey of this character. There are a lot of characters in this episode. Kumado, his grandfather, and Tama are the ones that stand out to me, who think that they must make these sort of, in my opinion, from my perspective, these unforgivable sacrifices that, like, I don't think are theirs to make. I don't think they're theirs to, like, force a child to give up their soul and to have an empty life. But they're doing it for what they believe are the right reasons. And Tama's line at the end, or near the end, where she says that if we don't do this, there will be a path that will be closed to us. I don't know if she means literally we won't be able to go into the paths of overgrowth, or metaphorically we have to explore all the options so that we're ready for when the Forbidden Mushi comes back, if it does, because there's like a greater evil that we must prevent. But it's interesting to me, and it paints this picture of a decision maker, someone with power, doing things that are very unsavory in order to, in their own minds, prevent a greater evil. And it's like it kind of, in the back of my head, boils down to a sort of a classic debate style argument, where it's like, do we sacrifice the happiness and well-being of the few, just the Minai family, in order to prevent the potential greater impact on the world if the Forbidden Mushi comes back and we don't have anything to deal with it? Or do we say that it's unjustifiable for us to steal the souls of little kids, in order to prevent this greater evil, especially when that greater evil is just a potential, right? And I personally fall in the line of, this is some evil shit that y'all are doing. You are destroying a child's ability to be normal, right? To have a life, to feel, and that's evil to me. That's wrong, and you can't justify that by saying that there's a greater evil that it's preventing. But there is the somewhat more utilitarian argument that says, well, we sacrifice the few for the many, because that greater, terrifying Forbidden Mushi is a bigger problem. And it fits with, with Tanyu having to carry the pain of that Forbidden Mushi. The difference to me is, like, well, they can't really prevent it from entering Tanyu. She just is born with it and has to bear it and has to come to terms with what is there. And her ancestor was able to choose it, but then it passes down to her. I don't know. It gets all complicated because the specifics don't line up with the philosophical argument. Like, the philosophical morals are pretty clear. It's an argument back and forth between the utilitarian greater good for the greatest number, versus the more deontological, like, you can't justify evil actions by the prevention of greater evil. You just can't. And you can fall on either side, and people do fall on either side, and that's why we disagree about stuff a lot of the time. But it doesn't fit with the specifics of the instances, so it's all fucking weird. I do think that it might, and the episode intentionally makes it convoluted, right? If he hadn't had his soul sucked out and replaced with a ghost Mushi soul monster thing, then we wouldn't have gotten the kaiju battle and Ginkgo would be dead, right? But also, they wouldn't have gone into this path of overgrowth, and potentially the path of overgrowth might never have overgrown. We don't know what caused it. I guess it has more to do with the issues of the last 20 years, which implies that the Forbidden Mushi is coming back, yada yada. So that's okay. All right, let's jump away from some sort of the philosophy here and just talk about the actual episode. Slow, and not in a bad way. Slow in the way that it is doing exactly what I said I hoped it would do, and it's expanding out to fill its time, to use its time effectively. And to create this lattice work of these two intertwined stories, the backstory and the present story, as well as Ginkgo's story and Kumado's story sort of being kind of opposites, one with darkness, one with light, and also two children who, like, sort of without their own volition, had something weird happen to them when they were kids that forever completely altered their lives and altered their relationship to Mushi. Ginkgo, in a way that, I mean, he could take his current state and the fact that he draws Mushi to him and stuff like that, and he could be really bitter about it. He could hate it, but he doesn't, right? He tries to live in harmony with it. He's all about balance, and he talks about that multiple times throughout the episode. Whereas Kumado just is emptied out. He's like a hollowed out shell of a person because of what his family did to him, because he couldn't see Mushi. Now, it's never made clear whether the family in general is normally unable to see Mushi, but it seems pretty clear that, like, this hollowing out of people is something that they've done before and are familiar with. I love the slow, ominous, spooky walk. I also love the fact that the volume is all the way up right now. Nothing. Just barely the footsteps. Perfect. It's perfect. It's scary. And we see that in his eyes, right? This kid has a personality. He is a person. And we see this little hut. And I think it creates the most cool visual in the entire episode, besides maybe the Mushi kaiju fight, which is pretty sick. But this hut against this sort of misty, ethereal background of literal nothingness is fantastic. It's a perfect location. It's really interesting. And it stands out every time that we go here. It's not my favorite shot in the episode. We'll get to that. My favorite shot in the episode is inside that hut, but we'll get there. I also love the look of this building. I think it's rad. I think it looks really cool. I love that we go to like a Mushi apothecary shop, sort of, that's way better than Adashino's. It's sick. It's cool. I love the overgrowth, right? This village that, as we say, is coming alive in ways that it shouldn't be. And it takes me a second, right? I'm looking at it and I see that these roofs are growing out thatch, growing stuff from the thatch. I'm like, okay, that's normal, that's fine. And it takes a second for me to click there and go, wait, no, that's grass growing from dead grass. That doesn't happen. That's wood and trees and like beautiful living things growing from a plank. It's almost like fungal. It's almost like mushroom is growing out of a tree, except that it's a tree growing out of a tree, and that's creepy, but it's gorgeous. It's pretty and interesting. It's like it's been grafted onto dead wood. It shouldn't work. But then visually, it creates this really, really cool landscape, this really cool idea. I think that's fantastic. It's also this idea of growth out of something dead is kind of maybe metaphorical for Kumado, except that there isn't really growth out of him. He's the dead inside. I guess what grows is his willingness to try to save Ginkgo. And we're unclear on his motivations for doing so, but it is a choice that he makes, as far as I can tell, right? To try to save him using that soul and to almost sacrifice himself. Framing around him, just setting them at odds is fantastic. Just framing a composition to make these two characters feel like they just do not get along. They're oil and water, right? And yeah, it's good. It works. Kumado's voice actor also does a really good job, I think. Location, this hut in the middle of nothingness, in just an empty void. It's pretty fucking sick. And the story that Grandpa tells us is its own thing. I will once again say that Grandpa's character design, the beard and his eyes that are like, often in a show like this where you have a character like this, whether it's live action or it's animated, they'll lean on almost like a crutch of making the old man's eyes bright, because it adds a layer of like madness to him, or like something glimmering within, that we are able to make so much character out of this old guy with his sort of sunken in old eyes with the eyebrows falling over them without any color to the eyes, just with the darkness, I think is a testament to the character design. You'll often see like a blue-eyed old man in this situation. Now I understand that it's in Japan and that's probably not going to be a thing, but we don't put a glimmer in there. We don't put that smoky blueness that we see in the kid once his soul is replaced, right? None of that is there. It's just the character design, and I think it works really well. And the way that we tell the story about the ancestor and the binding, and this is the kind of the core of it. Otherwise, it might reemerge the moment another cataclysm strikes. 1, what if a cataclysm never strikes? 2, what if it doesn't reemerge? Well, we can't take that chance, therefore we will do evil in order to prevent the potential of evil. And something about that irks me. Something about that feels wrong. It feels a little bit preemptive. And more importantly, it's a sacrifice that I don't think I don't think you're justified in making for this child, right? That's a child and you're taking away his ability to feel in order to prevent potential greater conflict down the road. It's scared. It's timid. It's kind of weak. Yeah. It's also this lack of trust in ourselves. Like, we don't trust that we'll be able to deal with this threat in the future if we don't take drastic measures in the present. But he frames it as a moral obligation. I think the line after this is, you must like take over their burden, or you must continue their path. Give me a sec. Yeah, Kumado, my boy, you must inherit their will. This is our duty as a family. But is it, though? But he's too young to really question. I'm unable to see Mushi. Well, stay here long enough and you'll be able to see them whether you want to or not. So, away we go. Oh yeah, these Mushi are sick. I love this snaky one. Look at that. It's so pretty. I love the designs of the Mushi. They really amped them up for this episode. Going into this Path of Overgrowth location, they made them super cool. Yeah. And of course, he fucking hates them. Gar, Mushi, they suck. I hate them. Grr. Rar. Is this where we get the frame? Yeah, it is. Okay. Favorite frame in the episode. Also my favorite transition. As we come in, we see this sort of gradient, darkness on the left to light on the right, with the hard line darkness of the wall behind him, and then the boy sitting in the light with darkness just encroaching. This is a crushing scene, right? Really crushes him into the corner with this gradient of darkness. It tells the exact story that we're supposed to be seeing in this whole sequence, right? Which is that this boy is being surrounded by darkness that is encroaching upon him. And it's perfect. It's perfect. It couldn't be better. Absolutely perfect framing. Composition. On point. Love it. I really do. I really think it's fantastic. The wall behind him is great. And this whole spooky sequence that's just his imagination is fantastic. And we see him fading, right? This is literally torture, and he's freaking out. It's just nightmares, my boy, but you'll be able to see them someday soon. So he is engulfed by that darkness until he becomes nothing, and his memory of family and flowers and the outside world all gets overtaken by the darkness as his soul is taken from him by what we learn a little bit later is a Mushi that eats souls. And so the grandfather comes in and finds his grandson dead. And this was the goal all along. And we see that despite everything, despite his hard attitude, he feels terrible for doing this. Well, then shouldn't you know, maybe this isn't worth doing. But he feels like he must inherit their will, right? No choice here. Please forgive me. Okay. First truly stellar piece of animation in the Mushishi episode, the ghosty smoky stuff, the Koki ghost. It's fucking awesome looking. I think it's great. I think that this whole smoke thing looks amazing. It's also all on ones, which is utterly impressive. It makes it super smooth and super spooky and super ghost-like as this thing into him. So creepy. And so he wakes. So he opens his eyes, and so he can see the Mushi. Fantastic. Um, yeah, fantastic moment and a fantastic look at all of the Mushi. And then this, I think, is just really good. We're just barely under halfway through the episode. We have seen the darkness, the endless empty scape that surrounds this hut 3 or 4 times at this point. I'm not sure. But every time before this that we've cut to it, that we've transitioned to it, we show that empty scape with the hut inside it. And we know that location. We understand what it is, that there is nothing around, that it's an empty landscape. And then we open up here after he can see the Mushi, and we see that it is a crazy, glorious, weird, cavernous space with these beautiful glowing Mushi all through it. I think that's fantastic. I think it's great. It changes our expectations. It subverts what we expect from the moment, and it happens just as Ginkgo and him are going into the path of overgrowth. Okay, so she asks him to go and try and help Kumado. There are a couple of lines here that are important. I've never seen him smile, not once. I think that, something is going on here. It's all because of me. And she feels some responsibility for it because she's the bearer of that one Mushi. It's pretty fucking rad. And we get to learn some of this backstory and this history here as well. It's pretty cool. And we see that Tama is in the same vein, right? Like, well, forgive him. Maybe he'll be warm again. Maybe he'll have a heart again, but he won't. It's gone. It just is. It's just gone. So she goes up to see the sunrise. Well, really to see over the hill, to prove to herself that maybe there's something cool there. And unfortunately, again, it's just a shitty hill. But the sun rises, and there is beauty here, and life and light comes in. And we get this idea that Kumado actually cares about her just because every time that he's, people have asked him like, oh, is that good? Are things okay? Whatever. He's just like, I don't know, man. But when she says that it's beautiful, he agrees. Not because he actually can understand pretty, isn't it? Just because he thinks it's important, I think, to agree with her. But I don't know. It's a mystery, right? And then there's this moment. This is the one thing that feels out of place here. However, sometime later, it's like he changed. I came to see Kumado as a completely different person. Like what? When? How? What changed in him? I don't think anything. This is already post his soul being gone, right? That's already been done. He's been pretty empty this whole time that you've known him. So nothing changes here. This is the only thing in the episode that throws me off because he's just exactly the same empty, sort of brainless, soulless dude that he's been the whole time that we've known him, ever since the moment that the white thing soul sucked him or whatever, right? Well, I guess it was the black thing that soul sucked him and the white thing that replaced his soul, right? Yeah, okay. I don't know, man. I love the look of this whole grass scape. It's cool. It's weird. It's cavernous. It's creepy. I love it. And Ginkgo starts feeling like, something's going weird here. And of course, yeah, there may be an omen. It's even possible that it has already reappeared. Hold on, buddy. What the fuck? We have to close the exit. And then he says, like, I've dedicated my whole life to searching out and doing stuff for this Mushi of legend that never ever appears. Gosh, wouldn't it be great if it just did? Just so that my life had meaning, right? It's almost like if you suck the souls out of children and prepare them for a war that never comes, they expect a war. You know? A little bit. I love this landscape. I love this location. It's like being inside of a coral forest or I said before, it's kind of like we're inside the cells of a tree having been shrunken down, or inside a giant cavern system. It's ultra ethereal. It's unlike any real location anywhere on Earth. I mean, there are probably some caverns somewhere that kind of look sort of maybe a little bit tiny similar to this, but I don't think so. I don't think this is like anything on the planet, and that's fucking cool because it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be an ethereal Mushiscape. Okay, so all of these dead little Mushi and a creepy giant hand monster. Rawr. Uh-oh. And so it tries to subsume him, and he doesn't give a fuck. It's a soul eater, and he has no soul. It's already gone. The moment when he just dispels it is so rad. I already gave it to you a long time ago. Whoosh. That's a pretty fucking sick scene right there. Whoosh. Fantastic. And then, uh-oh, Ginkgo has a soul. It's gonna eat him. And so Sacrifice comes in, and Ginkgo in the dark, and my internal soul monster will destroy your soul monster. I don't really get this scene where Ginkgo sees from... It is Ginkgo's voice, right? Yeah. Okay. But he gets this moment. So I guess we're supposed to take away that was a really important moment to Kumado, and that Kumado cares about Tanyu quite a bit. Regardless, kaiju fight! Giant soul monsters, let's go! Let's fucking go! Yeah! Yeah, eat them! Get them! Nom nom nom! Correct! I mean, I kid, but it is a pretty sick sequence. And what that means is that Ginkgo went and picked up that guy's body and dragged his soulless, effectively corpse all the way outside in order to save him, right? Brought him all the way here. And indeed, it will save him. But Ginkgo gets to know the secret as well. You're doing some creepy shit, old lady. Yeah, but it's necessary creepy shit. I disagree. But I'll allow it. I can't stop you. Spooky ooky, and then they all have some nice matcha up on a hillside, and his dead eyes are dead again. Great. Look, this episode is fucking cool. It's got a cool mystery. I kind of did get it immediately because it was hard not to. It was like, okay, the kid can't see Mushi. We're gonna like put something in him that makes him see Mushi. But that was nowhere near the actual nature of the story, right? The idea of a family that needs its children to see Mushi and does something to them that changes them in order to make them effective Mushishi, that's all there. The actual like character elements of it, the story, the way it feels, the vibes, the mood, the atmosphere, is totally way beyond any of my expectations. I thought I would put a high bar on this episode, and it met and exceeded the high bar. I think it's a fantastic double episode of Mushishi. And so, for that reason, I'm going to go just check who was responsible for any of the important things on this episode. Yeah, I think that'll probably be it. So, let me see. Might be hard to find on... No, okay, it's got its own page on ANN, so that's helpful. Cool. Hiroshi Nagahama on direction, series composition, and storyboard. No surprise there. Yoshihiko Umakoshi on animation director, along with Abiko Eiji, Mitsuko Baba, and Terumi Nishi, all people that we have seen before. CAD is Yoshihiko Umakoshi. Art director is Takeshi Waki, which is the same. Basically, the whole staff is the same. Cool. Neat. Director, series composition, storyboard, unit director, all by Nagahama. Honestly, no surprise there. It's the same staff, just doing more, doing a real good job. They did a real good job. What are you gonna say? It's a good episode, good double episode, good story, great atmosphere, great slowdown on the pacing, the ability to just use the time that they have wisely in order to tell that backstory and to weave in all these different characters and their own moments is fantastic. It all builds to an interesting and cool climax. It's got cool ideas in it. It makes me think. It's thoughtful in and of itself. Excellent episode. 9.5 out of 10. Great. I mean, compared as a Mushishi episode, I don't know if it's like a 9 plus out of 10 compared to like Redline, right? Like I don't know how to judge that. How do I judge a slow paced 45 minutes versus the fastest paced most bonkers shit in the world? This is always the problem when you try to rate one thing versus another, and they're totally different in every element except that they're on a screen, basically, right? I don't know. But I think this was pretty darn cool for what it is. So big thumbs up. Second thumbs up. More, you can have some extra fingers up as well. It's a good episode of a good show. Well done. Okay, so we move on next week to Zoku Show, which is the second season of the second season. They really should have come up with a better naming scheme for this shit. But whatever. I mean, come on. What is it with the sensei? Suicidal teacher. I forget. The Chef Show. It had a great naming scheme for all of its things. It was great at that. Whatever. Okay. I've been Teeaboo. This has been Mushishi Zokusho Odoro no Michi. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. This was a nice spooky episode, and I hope to catch you next week when we watch something else. I don't know if it'll start off with a spooky episode. I hope not, but it should be interesting regardless. See you next week for the second season of Zokusho. Peace.